Never seen such a great jailbreak. He tied his wrists with a shoelace in a death grip, then pressed his big thumbs against the tabletop and kicked them with his foot, and the thumbs just snapped off. The man's whole body convulsed with pain, but didn't make a sound. He threatened the guard on duty, got antibiotics from him, and came to the restroom. Took out a piece of dental floss, tied the bottle tightly, then put the end of the floss over his teeth, then stuffed it into his mouth and ate it directly. Then he took the lighter apart again, stuffed the small flint inside into his fingernail cap, slipped his fingers in this way again, and did all the preparations for the prison break. This man had escaped successfully twice, had an IQ of 150, and had killed a downsing prison guards. But eventually, he was caught and sentenced to life in prison. He had been planning for years to wait for this opportunity today, and had built up his muscles in prison. This time the warden approached him, wanting the man to save his son who had scurvy. Since only his bone marrow was a match, the man knew his chance to break out of prison had come, and immediately agreed. The FBI had guessed that he would break out of prison, and brought in military planes, and many more FBI to protect him along the way. But they didn't expect the man to arrive at the hospital and the prison guards to help him out of the handcuffs. He had already quietly used his tongue to pull the bottle of medicine into his mouth, and when the doctor injected him with anesthesia, he immediately bit the bottle of medicine in his mouth, then closed his eyes and pretended to faint. In fact, he was adjusting the broken finger, slowly breaking free from the restraints at this time. The doctor began to find something wrong. The anesthetic had been used to the maximum dose, but the instrument showed that the man had not completely lost consciousness. When the FBI wanted to check, the man suddenly did a flying kick, then quickly got up and picked up the oxygen tube next to him. Using the flint hidden in his fingernails to ignite it, he kept spraying it towards the FBI, and the whole operating room was in chaos. The man calmly spat out the glass lac in his mouth, then took the opportunity to run out of the operating room, grabbed the defibrillators, and dug into the dirty clothes chute slot, and with the powerful suction of the defibrillators, slid into the laundry room, then put on his doctor scrubs. When the warden arrived in the laundry room, there was no sign of the man. It turned out that the man had reversed the process and climbed up the pipe again. But with ankle cuffs still on his feet, the man didn't just run away. He sneaks into the radiology department, threatens the doctor with a pocket knife, and burns off the ankle cuffs with a laser. Then came back to the emergency room and stitched himself up. Real men never use anesthesia to suture wounds. The warden, at this point, has chased him all the way along the blood trail on the floor. The man quickly hijacked a doctor, and when he saw the warden aiming a gun at him, the man wasn't afraid and threatened the warden to kick the gun to him. Because if you want him to donate bone marrow, you have to be alive, and if he dies, then the warden's son will die too. The warden had no choice but to drop the gun and stand in front of the man to cover him. But just as the man is about to leave, suddenly the sound of a walkie-talkie comes from within the curtains, and the man immediately pulls the trigger and shoots the poking officers in the head, then quickly wounded the second officers and ran away. Holding the female doctor hostage, he made his way to the storage room, where every tin can could be used as a bomb. But just as the man turns his head, the female doctor picks up the tin can and hits him in the head, then smashes it into his thigh, then quickly picks up her pistol and runs out the door. The warden happens to run into the escaping doctor, and knowing where the man is, he tells the doctor not to tell the FBI because it's the only way to make sure the man stays alive. Meanwhile, the man was carrying propane into the shock room and spraying it on the floor. When the warden arrived, the man held up one hand in surrender and quickly threw a match with the other. In an instant, the shock room was blown up and the entire hospital's electrical system was shut down. The man took advantage of the darkness to smash the windows and use the air corridor to escape towards the guardhouse across the street. Then using his clothes to block the spikes on the fence, he managed to scale the rooftop of the guardhouse. But just as it breaks the glass and intends to open the door, he was spotted by the FBI downstairs and kept shooting at him. Seeing that the man was going to die here, the warden suddenly opened fire. One shot knocked out the searchlight and the man escaped into the guardhouse. When the warden called, the man used a small needle to control him, then threatened all the guards to drop their weapons and held the warden hostage in the main control room to shut down the surveillance in the gate. The guards are then tied to the stairs and find the connection to the sewer, push open a cabinet, and take out a fire axe to smash the wall and manage to escape, grab a car and escaped, but the warden gave chase. Hitting a fork in the road, the men flee in the other direction. The warden rushes out into the road in pursuit and orders the bridge to be blocked. The men get out of the car to escape, but the bridge rises. Military airplanes fly in and the men have no way to escape. The warden deflects the bullets and saves the man as they shoot at each other. The man takes the opportunity to jump off the bridge and the warden follows to save him. The man is touched by his father's love and volunteers to donate bone marrow to the warden's son. However, when the child's surgery is successful, the man steals the FBI's pistol. The movie ends, leaving an open ending